Let's take a look at tech stocks. Joining us now is Doug Clinton, Intelligent Alpha founder and CEO. Doug, great to have you with us. How far can the tech trade go without Nvidia?
I think it can still go further. I mean, if you look at the broader set of the Mag 6, we always look at this. The PE ratio for this year is 27. It's 23 times for next year. So even without Nvidia, I think stocks like Google, Meta, Amazon can carry the tech trade, but I don't know that we should assume that Nvidia can't participate here. I do think that their earnings last week were good despite the stock's reaction. And I think right now the question is maybe a little bit less about the fundamentals around the AI trade. Are these hyperscalers still spending? And it's more just a question of emotions in the market. When will investors feel comfortable coming back to the table for AI?
Nvidia still hasn't been able to achieve pre-DeepSeek levels. I mean, it feels like there is an inherent concern about how much of a spend will be needed. And granted, the hyperscalers have announced or confirmed or even upped their CapEx spending forecasts for the year, but there's no saying that Meta has to spend that much money by the end of the year, or that Alphabet does as well.
There's not, but I also think if you really put it into perspective, you think about the hyperscalers, they're really all competing with each other. And in some senses, it's this, we've called it a Pascalian wager before. I mean, if you believe in AI, you really do have to invest into the technology because, let's say Microsoft drops out of the race. I don't think that means Google or Meta are going to drop out because they see a future where AI is the next transformative technology and potentially $1 trillion opportunity for them. And so, no, nothing is certainly committing them to these step ups that they've made. It's been about 30%, by the way, from the beginning of the year on these CapEx builds. But I think that we should rely on them probably doing it.
And just quickly, Doug, Intel had some headlines today that some chip companies like Broadcom were sending test chips through their factories. So we're seeing a boost in shares of Intel's pre-market. Do you believe in investing in sort of the dogs of tech for the year? I mean, for the year, it is up somewhere around 20%.
It has been a contrarian play that has worked. We have not been involved in it. And I would say this, if you think about the chip trade more broadly, I would rather look at a TSM. Obviously, people are trying to diversify around TSM. There's some geopolitical risk there. But still, right now, all roads lead to them. Whether you make memory, whether you make GPUs or custom silicon, you're really probably relying on TSM.